and then we'll talk about the rest of it. So this is the mayor menu. I have more tabs than you have because I have more stuff to do. We'll start with buy orders. So first off, these are the buildings that the node has. In the very first part of phase two, sorry, phase three, there's going to be 0 buildings. If you look right now on the map over here, they've just hit the crossroads. First, it starts as what is settlement, then it goes crossroads, then it goes village. At a crossroads, there's people standing there, townspeople, but there's no buildings at all. So, but there is a vendor there. I think they do have some standard commissions that you can do, like the ones that you find in Lionhold and Maya's Hope. But once it gets to level three is when it actually becomes a town, or sorry, village, and that's what we are now. And that's when you get to elect the mayor. That's when you can buy freeholds and all the other kind of stuff. But then the mayor has to decide which buildings that you want to build there, and there's a hierarchy of buildings, meaning that you have to have one of a certain type of building before you can have another type of building. And I have the cheat sheet over here. I'm not going to go into that, but like this is the agricultural supply, right? It says over here, this is what it provides. It provides the apprentice animal husbandry, the herbalism, everything like that. It also does journeyman. I don't know if it's down here. Maybe it is down here someplace. Yeah, I don't know why it said because it is a journeyman station. But see these right here, these are the commodities that mainly maintenance costs weekly. So it costs 36 gold. Right now we're good with gold 2,711. That's for your taxes that you pay. That's for sales taxes and crafting fees, all those types of things, right? That's what goes into that. So you want good stations in your node, so people will come to your node and do that. Otherwise, the guild or whoever owns it would have to do that. Otherwise, your buildings are going to decay and stop working. But say like here, right? Tier one, this is beer. We have 55, but every week we lose 38. So if you saw the most recent one that I did, I put it in the announcements channel. Um, I I have this as one of the red ones because this is the ones that we really need to do because we're about to run out. We're good on this. We have 20, or sorry, 93, and we only use 20. Uh, Standard tools is something that's very easy to do, so there's always plenty of those. If you look at some of the other buildings, some of the other buildings don't require maintenance, the standard ones. Here's one right here. It takes the scrolls. We got 38, or it requires 38. We have 198. Don't worry about that one. Again, there's your standard tools. There's your stoneworks. Enchanted gemstones we're good with, but here with these trinkets, we need more trinkets, right? Because we only have 2 weeks worth this week and next week. For this, we have 4 weeks worth of these, and we have four weeks worth of this one. So what I do is I said, okay, well we need trinkets, right? So then I go over to the treasury. I will create an order, and here are the trinkets right here, right? So I'll click on trinkets, and these are the options that I have. I got copper trinkets, which are your tier one resources, and then you got bronze trinkets, which are these guys right here. And what this is, all this is basically saying you got to process these. So this is unprocessed stuff. I know it says copper, and this says bronze, but this is the first recipe on this row right here, which is this row, which is this row. These are your unprocessed mats, right? But if I click on this one, that's going to be your processed one. So now instead of just going with copper, now you have to make ingots. And I got a choice between brass ingots and zinc ingots. And then I got one choice over here for cut rubies. So depending on what we have, I could go with either one of these recipes right here. So I'm just going to go with this one right now. I'm going to schedule it. How much is the purchase price? 10 tickets. What's the duration? Might as well make it 8 days, right? What's the quantity? I'll say we need 1,500. And what's the contribution limit? You can contribute up to 100 of these. That's how much it costs us, right? 3 gold. It takes out of here, and I'll schedule that. And it took it out of there, and now this is on our board right now. It's down at the bottom. So so the reason I choose these is because of this screen over here. So if you're wondering why did you choose that buy order? Well, I have to choose that buy order because that's commodities that the guild needs. Same thing. Commissions are a little bit different. Commissions are just basically what's the easiest for people to do, and what's the rewards. So here's the current ones that we have right now. War preparations are very easy because all you got to do is gather 20 tier one gatherals. That's all your basic tier one woods, your like your novice wood, your mining stuff, your poppies, your daffodils, those types of things. You bring them back, and you'll get 25 tickets and 5,000 XP for that. And you also get two dull glint and sorry, two dim glint and five dull glint, like it says right there. We've maxed out. I don't know what these two lock for. Maybe we if there's a node buff or something that we can do, a relic that opens that. I'm not sure. But down here, like stakes in the ground, return lumber from anywhere in Sand Squall, right? That will give 17 tickets and gives 3,400 XP. And then the buff it will give is general speed mod increased by 15. So basically, you'll fly faster, you'll run faster, you ride your mount faster by 15% in the oh sorry, this caravan, the caravan buff. Same thing with this enemy mine. Return stone. What does it give us? Process rarity increase, rating increase by 5%. Process XP increase. This one, processing time reduction reduced by 10%. Processing XP increase, et cetera, et cetera. When we get to phase 3, this is what we want, right? Where it says process XP rating. We are not going to do any processing until we get a node. All the stuff is going to go in storage because if you don't, you're literally wasting materials by processing because you can double your processing by waiting until we get a node and we have these buffs on. And we're going to go over that as we get closer to phase 3. But these have expiration. These expire in 12 hours. I don't think we've completed any of them yet. Actually, this one was completed. War preparation was completed. The reason this was completed is because it's so easy, right? All you got to do is just run up and put it in the box, and I'll show you where that is here in a second. So that's the node part. The actual do the buy orders, you come to this guy right here, requisition agent, and then there they are right here, right? You see what you need. For the one I just started, there's the cut rubies. If you turn in 3 cut rubies with 3 ingots, you'll get 10 tickets, and then 1 will be over here ticked off on that. Same thing for this slate fragments. Slate fragments is a apprentice level, just like the planks is an apprentice level thing. So you would need to apprentice level in lumber milling and apprentice level in stone masonry in order to do this one, or have somebody process those for you. This one, scorpion carcasses, go out hunt scorpions, right? Chop down acacia trees, et cetera, et cetera. But all these things in here, some require processing and some don't require processing. If it requires processing, you have to have that skill and that apprentice level, or you need to find somebody who can do that for you. Okay, and all you got to do is come over here. Like for example, I don't know if I have anything in here that I can turn in. Let me see. Anyways, if I did, I would basically say if I had some basalt and some date palm, right? I would just click here. It would say it would show me the max, and what it does is calculates the minimum of most common denominator. So say if I had 100 of this and 70 of these, this would be 70 over here or something like that if it was 1-to-1, but now it's going to be 7. So because I would have 7 turn-ins, I would have 10 turn-ins, but since 7 is the lowest number, it's going to be 7 over here. I would click add. It shows up from my inventory. I just right click on it, adds it over here, hit submit. I do the same thing over here, and then I hit exchange, and then it'll tell me what I'm getting right here, the exchange total that it's going to give me. Any questions on buy orders? Okay, so we're going to go up to the top. That's where the commissions are. These are a little more difficult depending on what you want to do. Those are pretty much straightforward. They just require processing. Now, if you are processing stuff and the buy order completes, you're left holding the bag. So you will need to hang on to those things or message me and say, "Hey, I had a bunch of cut rubies I was going to turn in, but the buy order already completed." And it takes it like a day or 12 hours to reset. I'll just create another buy order for you. So if you do get stuck holding the bag, just let me know and I'll create another buy order for you in the future. So don't do anything
Wumpus,
with
are they
those.
all uncommon? Like, can you do uncommon or rare or anything like that, or are
You
they
you
just
can mix
basic?
rarities.
Okay, just
So
wanna make
so
sure.
yeah, so if you had like 20 uncommon, 20 common, 20 rare, that would be
Well,
60.
yeah, I'm coming down to do 100 of your
Yeah.
iron, your zinc and ruby right now.
Right. So here are the commissions. It's kind of the same thing like you would do on the board in Lionhold or in some IS Hope. This shows these are the ones that are accepted. You can go into sorry, your journal, and that's where your commissions are going to be, right? So there's Claw and Fang right there. Talks about what you need to do, the price of progress, the war preparations, et cetera, et cetera. These are the ones that I've chosen are here, right? Isle of Pain, that should be, yeah, right there, right? And this thing shows you where it's going to be on your main screen or not. I don't know if you guys knew what the little eyeball was. You can also right click on it, or sorry, show down here to untrack or track, and that basically takes the eyeball off, on and off, or you can just click on the little eyeball right there. But for war preparations, right? War preparations is basically saying that you need to donate 20 tier one gather materials. To donate, all you do is walk up to this box right here and click on it, and there's war preparations. Notice that none of these things right here are desert, right? I've already put that in to let them know that none of these are desert, but the price of progress is desert stuff. So it says I have Joshua Tree Wood, right? So I click on here. Again, it's going to do all these rarities. I don't want to do my epic or my heroic, so I will do some of these. I could do 25. So I added five. What is this? I added five more for 10. So I submit and deliver. I don't, or sorry, deliver. Do you want to deliver these? Confirm. And oh, I have to have 25. Never mind. So as soon as I get 25, oh, that's heroic.
Oh, they went in
Uh,
there.
no, they
No,
didn't.
they did go in.
Yeah, yeah. See, it says so. I need 25 Joshua trees. So I'm not going to do the Joshua trees. It's kind of like Willow, so I don't want to use heroic Willow. But that's what you would do, right? So if you do have a delivery one where it says deliver this or deliver that, you would come up to this little box right next to it, and then find the one that you're doing it for. Have the stuff in your inventory. Click add, and then it would basically open up the window for you to do that. And there's your sandstone, salt, obsidian. I would just worry about, I don't know what you make salt from, but anyways.
You just buy it.
Oh yeah.
Yep, it's a vendor item.
Yep. Okay. And that's pretty much it. So get the buy orders if you have a lot of resources, right? Say you've been out and collecting resources, and for another node, because this is good for any node, for your node, you can hit in and see what your buy orders are for this node. You can't do this for any other node. You have to actually physically go to that node, go to their storage clerk, go to the acquisition agent, see what buy orders they have, or you can also walk up to any guard. If you walk up any guard, there's going to be a question here that says, what's happening around here. If you click on this on the guard, um, it'll open up their buy orders for you. So, and it's a very easy to read format. It's actually a lot easier to read than the node screen. So, if you're in a town now and walk up to a guard, click on it, say what's happening around here, and it'll open up and you can see all the buy orders for that, as opposed to going to the requisition agent, which is generally in a column. This is in two columns, so it's easy to see right away what you need. The only bad thing about this is it has icons, and the icons don't tell you what it is. Like it'll see fragment icons. You don't know if that's slate. You don't know if it's some other kind of thing. Kind of like boards and beams. You don't know what kind of wood it is, so you have to move your mouse over it for it to tell you. But that's a good way of going to any node to find out what buy orders they have, is by just walking up to a guard and say, "Hey, what's happening around town," and they'll show you their current buy orders. If there's no buy orders, then well, there's just no buy orders. Same thing with commissions. You come to the commission board and there's none. You can say, "Hey, Wumpus, we don't have any commissions." I'm like, "Oh crap!" Then I'll go in and I'll add commissions. Same thing with buy orders, but I usually try to keep up with that because I know it's important. Once you get the tickets, right? What are tickets for? Well, the tickets, you would come all the way over here to the mayor reputation vendor. I'm sorry, this dude, the vendor items. This is where you spend your tickets. What has been the biggest moneymaker recently has been these journeyman scrolls. You would get for 400. I have 2,000 right now. I could buy one for 458. Right, add quantity. How many do you want to add? It knows I can do four. So right, purchase, and then if I buy these, these were going for 20 to 25 to 30 gold each up until the last patch. I think they're still going um, up to maybe 15 to 20 gold. But just by doing buy orders, you can chop down trees, you can mine, you can do basalt, do whatever, turn the buy order in, get the tickets, and this is only in your node. You can only get this stuff from your node, kind of like you can only get the cloak for your node. But yeah, you'll come here and then buy. Generally, you would buy these, but if you want to buy a cloak, if you're a magical power user, that's they say this is the best cloak for magic power in the game. You can also buy some other stuff. Here's some other things that you can buy, right? But there's better gear that we can get you. So don't waste your tickets on these. If you're going to do anything, buy journeyman scrolls, go in global and says wanting to sell 4 journeyman scrolls, and you'll get people pinging you with purple text saying, I'll buy these gold, these German scrolls off you. They can't steal these from you because these goes in your items, so you're pretty safe. But yeah, they'll meet you. They'll trade you. They'll give you the gold. You give them the scrolls. Done deal. You just made 100 gold or whatever just by doing buy orders, and you still get the XP and the glint from the buy orders as well. So you're making money twice on buy orders, and commission kind of the same thing. You're getting XP for that and some tickets from those as well. Okie dokie.
Nope, that was pretty informative. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
appreciate